Hey guys, Luke here, and welcome back to episode 6 of the FIFA 16 Juventus crib, man. That was a little bit of a tongue twister that started off. Episode 6, FIFA 16, whatever. Anyways, moving on to this episode, we're going to be covering another 3 games like normal, just like last episode, but the post-commentaries are going to be ending after this episode, as in terms of a full post-commentary. We'll be including a bit of live commentary as well. Now right there, I just said the player of the month was Buffon. I can agree with that. I think he had a pretty good month, and you can see there, players living on international duty. We have an abundance of players living on international duty. And also, really positive news is Mario Mandzukic says he is okay to play. Now, we're not going to go ahead and add him straight into the team. He can sit out another few games there. We're not really dying to have him come back at this stage. I think the strikers are playing relatively well. I mean, we're not killing it, but well, we killed against Napoli, but I think we're doing the job. We only play one up front at the moment, and that is Dybala or Morata at the time. Mandzukic, I think, will come into being the first choice striker eventually. But for now, Dybala can do the job. I'm taking on Bologna, I think that's how you pronounce it. Maybe it's Bologna, I'm not sure exactly. Sorry, I'm not Italian, so I don't know how to pronounce all these Italian teams. So apologies for that. But it is a home game for us. We're looking to take full advantage of it being home, having the crowd behind us. And as you can see there, Bologna, or how to pronounce it, I'm just going to call them B for now. They are coming 6th, so they're no slouches. They're not doing too bad. Although I'm not sure how the Serie A compares to other leagues in terms of, like with the Premier League, any team can beat any team. Whereas in Serie A, Juventus are going to beat every team because that's just how it is. They don't lose often at all, if at all. So they go on huge runs of wins. But I did recognise immediately Destro, Gioccherini, or whatever his name is, Prestige, Constant. I think he used to play AC Milan. So I do know a few of the players. I don't know a heap of them, but I know a few of them. Now Pogba really should have finished that one. We kicked it straight at the only defender who was in front of him. So we had a lot to aim at and we just missed everything. And Coutinho, he didn't have much to aim at, but he nearly finds the way into the back of the net. So Coutinho is starting to find his feet for us. I think Pogba is a really, really good player, but yeah, Coutinho finally starting to find his feet there. Maybe the cam position isn't for him. He's very good at tracking down players, even though his defensive stats aren't great, but he seems to work hard. But holy shit, that was Destro, I'm pretty sure. And he absolutely just smacked the shit out of that ball into the back of the net. I couldn't believe it went in. Especially after Buffon is getting the award for, player of the month and that sort of stuff, and he concedes a goal like that. It's not a bad bit of keeping, mind you. It's just, man, what a goal that was. I couldn't believe it went in. It's one of those ones where I'm like, what can you do? Like, what can I do? Now, Destro, there was a bad pass, and I think it was Bonucci ended up getting the ball for a second time. He's given it away 2 times in a row, and then they just hit it first time. I don't know who it was. All I know is it was his first goal. I think it was Prestige, maybe. He ended up just popping it straight into the back of the net, like the most perfect shot you can do in that circumstances. But holy shit, like 2 goals, 2 wonder goals as well. So, man, I was just thinking, this really isn't our day. It really isn't our day. But at halftime, a change of maybe just not momentum, but change of mentality is probably more of what I was looking for. And we reap the rewards immediately. Dybala just cuts back inside into his right foot, pops it into the back of the net, and that's his 2nd goal in Serie A for the year. Would have thought he would have got a little bit more by now, but we do rotate the strikers quite a lot. So I'm not surprised, I suppose, but yeah, I would have thought he might have had a few more. But it is Khedira up from the CDM role, and he does pop one in to make it 2-2. And I was thinking, you beauty, we're going to end up winning this game pretty easily. And that mentality I was also talking about before, I went to the attacking mentality. I think it actually might even be officially called the mentality. I popped it up to mentality. We started pressing, and that's exactly what worked for us. Now, Felipe Anderson, straight from the kickoff, we win the ball. It is Anderson. He gets the ball, and it's off the post. I couldn't believe it. I thought, damn, this one, we just ruined it. How did we not score there? I couldn't believe it. Anderson isn't even a bad finisher either. But I did think we could make amends here. Berardi cuts back inside on his left foot. I don't know how good his left foot is, but it seemed decent enough. Unfortunately, it was saved by the keeper. Now, Semi Khedira did come off. We bring on Pereira. We also bring on Morata late on into the game. You can see there's a big jump in time there. Basically, there was no highlights. We went way more attacking. I mean, Khedira did score the goal for us, and I think so did Dybala. We took Dybala off as well, but we wanted to go all-out attack, and unfortunately, that just meant that Bologna or whatever, they went all-out defense pretty much. So they parked the bus, and I'm not very good at breaking down teams who parked the bus against me. So it was a little bit disappointing. Would have been so nice if we could have scored that goal of Anderson, got that lead, just went bang, 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 and just, won us the game pretty much. Because had we got the lead, I'm set. Usually when I've got the lead, I don't lose the game from there. I'm not one of those players who bottle it too often. But yeah, unfortunately we couldn't get it. Pogba gets man of the match, and I can't say it's undeserved. It was a pretty good game from Pogba, but it is NATO who's coming to us with an email. He's saying he would love to get a little bit more playtime. Doesn't need to be first choice or anything, but he wants to get more playtime. And I think I should give him a little bit more playtime, just due to the fact that he's going to be taking over from Buffon next year, because Buffon's retiring. So we need to get him a bit of playtime, and NATO is a good player. Now, this is a funny little article they had here. It says, Juventus miss Marchisio, and I gotta say, some people in the comment section below were quite angry when I sold Marchisio, some Juventus fans. But I wouldn't say Storaro was the man to replace him, considering we did go and buy Coutinho, and you can see Asamoah wants to play as well in the upcoming game, taking on Inter as well. I did want to, at first I was thinking, man, we're just going to put in NATO, put in, Asamoah as well. We can throw them in and take on whoever play next. And I saw it was Inter, and I was like, yeah, we probably should go all out, put our best team out there, and he can play, those two players can play at a later date. But yeah, Marchisio, he was a great player. I would have loved to kept him around, but the offer we got was just too good to refuse. And Coutinho, he's been a pretty good signing for us, but yeah, I wouldn't consider Storaro as the replacement. I thought that was such a strange article, considering Storaro has not really played that often. He has played a little bit, but not that often, and you can see he is not in the starting side right now. Khedira is our favoured CDM. I mean, Pogba is then the second CDM, pretty much. Yeah, I don't really know what they're going for there. Although Storaro, I think, can replace Marchisio in the future. Right now, he's just a backup. So I thought that was quite strange. Especially, I don't think Storaro has been bad for us. He's been quite good in the games he's played. And I mean, he did pick up the winner. He did play pretty well for us, and yeah, he just seems like a good all-round player. So I'm not sure, what's going on with him. But yeah, this game against Inter, so far so good for us. It's only a few minutes in, but we are doing a little bit of a fancy free kick or whatever. We do get it onto the foot of Pogba. We all know how good Pogba's long shots are. Unfortunately, we couldn't find the back of the net, but Inter, they had no problems finding the back of the net. Their first chance, I'm not even kidding, their first chance, Jovetic just gets the ball crossed to him first time, straight from the throw-in. There's literally nothing I could do with that one, apart from, even when the ball went out for the throw-in, I thought there was a foul to us. One of my players got tripped over, so I wasn't sure exactly how, I couldn't believe it happened. I was so mad, and I was also so mad with this one. Not even a card either. Actually, I think there was a card that time. The first challenge, there was no free kick. No yellow card, but this time there was. And I gotta say, Inter, they kept bringing us down. Every chance they got, there was a foul. You can see there's another one on Pogba this time. This one also resulted in a yellow, I believe. And it is Dybala taking a shot, and he puts it straight over the bar. Now, this sort of brings me to Khedira getting injured. I don't know where it happened, but as soon as we took that free kick, Khedira was told to come off. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I didn't even see it happen. There was no replays suggesting, he got taken down. He wasn't the one who got tackled. It was Pogba who got tackled. So I don't know where Khedira got hurt. But we are bringing on Asamoah. It is quite funny that Asamoah did come to us saying, I need to be playing more, can you play me? And then he gets his opportunity in this game due to an injury. But you saw there another free kick was given to us, and they're not just shitty little challenges. There's some pretty tough tackles on us as well. So I was surprised that there hadn't been a red card handed out at the moment, just due to the fact that it was just repeated offences. It was so annoying. Every time we had an opportunity to hit them on the counter, they brought us down, and maybe that's the way to beat us. We do attack pretty well in terms of counter-attacking. We're very, very good in that aspect. So maybe the idea is just bring us down before we can even counter-attack. It's not a bad strategy to use against us. And you can see here, Inter actually had a chance themselves. They hit the post. So very unlucky to not be up 2-0. Then they hit the post again, this time from a scissor kick. Not bicycle kick, it was a scissor kick. We'll go with a scissor kick. And then they have another chance. This time just a little bit wide. And that all happened over a few minutes. A little bit of a burst there. But this sort of just summed up our night, really. See, Anderson wins the ball from great play, and Dybala, he ends up hitting the crossbar. Now, when I say it sums up our play, you might be thinking, you hit the crossbar, not that bad. It's more of the fact that pass that we had, it was just a simple pass initially, and we put it miles in front of him. Well, it was a terrible pass to Anderson, and thankfully Anderson ended up making up for it, and he ended up winning the ball. But I mean, in the end, he shouldn't have had to make the tackle. And right here, there's another foul. This time, just on the outside of the box. I thought for a second, oh man, we've got a penalty, but it is going to be Pogba who gets the ball passed to him, as we've done quite a number of times here. The pass to Pogba is kind of the best option for us, considering my free kick taking is not the best. However, I found that the computer, they defend it a lot better than what I remember them doing. So but is Berardi on the ball after Berardi gets the ball to him, and that was a great little turn, and then Berardi kicks it straight at the keeper. Such a frustrating game. Like, I remember playing this one, I usually don't swear. When I do Luke Coutinho videos, I don't usually swear that much. That's more of just trying to do an act to try and keep up with the character that I'm playing. This time I was legitimately cussing like so much. I was swearing every single time a shot was saved or a foul was given. It was just, it was so annoying. The most frustrating game I've ever played of FIFA, and I've played a lot of FIFA. I wanted to smash back control everything. I know it's over the top for a game, but holy shit. Man, I was so mad after this game. Not because I lost, but just because everything I was doing, it was like we would get 9/10 of it right, and then like we just blow an easy chance. It was so stupid, especially that the Murata chance right at the end. We did everything perfectly, and then the shot, we just blow it wide completely. Like, Murata should not be missing that. Anyways, Khedira, he's only out for 9 days, so I still don't know what happened to him, and it doesn't really seem that anything important happened to him, nothing major. Now, going into this game, this is going to be a Champions League game. You can see we're on 0, taking on Real Madrid, who have got 6 points. So I think I was wrong last time. I think I said Real Madrid hadn't won a game when they had. That was actually Wolfsburg, who hadn't won a game. So it is essential that we do get a result here against Madrid. And when I say a result, we need a win. We can't handle having a loss. Like, we really can't. Actually, I think I was actually right with Madrid. Scratch that. Club Brugge are on 6 points. So it's funny, Club Brugge, out of all the sides, they're the ones who are looking like going through. Now, NATO obviously came to us a little bit earlier, and he said, can you play me a little bit more? Probably not the best game to give him a go, but I thought, I was so disappointed with the last game that we played against Inter that I was like, you know what, let's just give these guys a run. Brought in Patrice Evra, and I think Mandzukic is back in the side for this game as well. So this is Mandzukic's first game back from injury. Now, looking at the Real Madrid squad, it is the strongest squad they can put out. And Valencia, when I do my Valencia career mode, I take on Real Madrid quite often, but at this time I hadn't played Real Madrid on the Valencia one as well, so it was new for me taking on Real Madrid. They have a lot of good players. Obviously I'm quite aware of how good some of these players are, but it is Mandzukic who has the first opportunity to score. That was his first touch back from injury, and he ends up hitting the post, so quite unlucky for him. Would have been nice just for me to get that first goal against Real Madrid. I was like, alright, that'd be perfect for us. Now Mandzukic is just back from injury, and he's on the receiving end of a brutal challenge from Modric. Like, what the hell is Modric trying to do there? That was an instant red card. It was an obvious red card. As soon as it happened, you're like, yep, red card for sure. There's no debating that. And 8 minutes in, he's really like screwed up his team big time there, because Modric is a key part to their side, and they can bring on someone, they can bring on a replacement. No worries, they've got good players. I think Isco came on for him, but at the same time, that means you're a man down. And as we've seen, when we take on teams that go a man down, they don't fare too well. Case in point, Napoli. We absolutely destroyed them. Once they brought off their, not brought off their player, but got a player red carded. And you know what? I think we're going to do so to Real Madrid. And we got super lucky to not give away a penalty there. Ronaldo went into the box there, and I was like, oh my god, I've just brought him down. But thankfully he stepped out of the way like an idiot that he is. Actually, he's really not an idiot. He's a great player, Ronaldo. But for the sake of the video, he's an idiot. An idiot in this case, maybe. But is Storaro, the man that they're talking about being a huge disappointment, cuts back inside and he scores a goal. 29 minutes in there. Good work from Storaro. Now, I'm pretty sure not anybody could have just scored that goal. We did cut inside perfectly. We used the triggers to cut back inside. So that was really good work from us. I kind of realised that if we just cut back in normally, we're just going to lose the ball. So I needed to use the triggers right there. And then Storaro takes a long shot. Well, not really a huge long shot, but the ball does fall back to Patrice Evra, and I thought Evra might be able to just smack that one in with a finesse shot across the face at goal, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way. But is Evra causing a fair bit of havoc down that left side. He's contained Bale very well, as well as still providing a lot in attack. So Chris Evra is someone who, when I first saw his stats and all that, I was like, man, he's pretty old. We got Alex Sandro. You don't really need Patrice Evra, but I wanted to keep him around just to play like as a backup. But I got to say, when he plays, like, Patrice Evra is very good. He's very sound defensively, still good in the attack. And yeah, just all around pretty solid play. Now the ball falls back to Storaro for his second, and we hit the friggin' post. An open goal, we hit the post. Man, I know I was talking about how angry I was with the Inter game. I surprisingly wasn't that angry. Maybe because we had the lead already, and I kind of thought like a second goal was going to come anyways. But yeah, it's just disappointing more than anything that Storaro couldn't score that one. Especially because like I felt like I couldn't change to the right player. I don't know, it just felt so weird that one. it felt like, oh, this isn't going to go in for sure, and obviously it didn't. And you know, Real Madrid, they did have a few chances here and there, but nothing too major. They did have that long shot, but we've had way more long shots than them, or way more opportunities to score, and we haven't been able to put many in the back of the net, just the one so far from Storaro. But is Murata here, hopefully looking to make it 2-0, as Asamoah is going to run down that ball, and he is going to get it back to Cuadrado. Now this goes back to Buffon. The game against Club Brugge last game, we conceded a near post goal, and I was like, man, whenever we take a shot in that similar position, it's always saved very, very comfortably. And that is case in point right there. That shot was saved so easily there by Navas, I think it was, in goal. So yeah, it was such a weird game, this one. We dominated them just everywhere except for the scoreboard. Now we did win the game, and we just had so many more chances. We had some clear-cut chances, we had some half chances, like, and I don't know, they just kept saving everything. Now this is the funny thing, one game, like, Storaro hadn't even played a game, like barely even played when they wrote the article about him sort of being a disappointment, and then he goes in and scores one game, and they're saying plaudits for Storaro. So I thought that was very, very funny, and made sure I included it in the video. Now you can see here we get our first win. Wolfsburg actually won the game against Bruges, so both of them are on 6 points, but I think we can still go through if we win the second sort of games, if we win the away games / home games, whatever it is. So we're not out of the Champions League by any means. We just got to make sure we keep winning. And in the league we did drop off a little bit, I think, but you know what, I think we can hit back. The league position doesn't really matter. It's only what, like 8 or 9 games into the league, so you know, not all hope is lost this early on in the season. Anyways, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. If you are new around here, subscribe to the channel as well. You can follow me on Twitter at MrLukeMyT. Facebook page is in the description below as well if you prefer that over Twitter, and I'll see you for my next video. Bye guys.